Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
Waalaikumsalam
warahmatullahi
warahmatullahi
wabarakatuh.
wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our presentation. My name is Rayhan Inindya Sofi, and I will be your moderator today. Our topic for today's presentation is preparation and practice. We hope this session will give us all new insight and understanding about this topic. Before we begin, let me introduce the group members. Here's the flow of our presentation. The first is Griselda Ananda, Nasional Ramadhani, and the last, Kak Faiz. Okay, for the first, that presentation of the material by our speaker, and the second is a Q&A sessions, and the last, the closing. Now, without further ado, let's welcome our first presenter, Griselda. The time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Sophie, for moderating our group. So today's topic is preparation and practice. First, the topic is preparing topics for interpreting purposes. The second is how to remember what you have prepared when you are interpreting. And the third, structuring practice session for maximum effect. And the last is how to give useful feedback. The first topic that I want to tell is I want to explain about the general knowledge. So, this means a sort of general and ongoing preparation, practice out of habit, and regardless of whether the interpreter has an upcoming assignment or not. That is from Alfred, 2014. In our opinion, general knowledge is a key foundation for interpreters, providing essential context for understanding and accurately conveying meaning. And it also serves as a safety net when speakers deviate from the announced topic, allowing interpreters to adapt smoothly. This type of knowledge is built gradually over time through continuous learning and life experience. While some general knowledge is universal, much of its culture specific and varies from country to country. And young interpreters often face a double disadvantage, lacking the years of accumulated knowledge that older native speakers have, and missing the culture immersions of those raised in countries where their then B and C language are spoken. Therefore, it's crucial for interpreters to actively and consistently expand their general knowledge throughout their careers. And the next topic I want to explain about the key to improving your general knowledge. From Kramer 2005, give short presentations to other students about subject that you have learned about, and it will help you structure the information in your mind and can be used as short speech material for interpreting exercise as well. First, the first key is start in your language first. You can read in your language first, even for foreign topic purpose. Understand the subject before tackling it in another language. The second is learn the basic of key subject. You can try to watch films and read explanation on how it works type website. For example, it's the Khan Academy or howitworks.com, Wikipedia, and exercise in all your working language. Third is read weekly new magazine for a more in-depth treatment of subject areas. And then you will find in the newspaper. So, and read semi-technical specialist magazines or blogs at both experts. In interested amateurs, Farmers Weekly, Aviation Today, and One EU Law. Or you can search it on blog and exercise. So, and the last one is keep up to date with the news. For example, like newspapers, news shows, and news websites. Next. The next is topic preparation. From Seleskovich, it's not enough to know word and its equivalent in other language. You must also understand the concept or the object it refers to. And guys, before learning how to prepare a topic, it's important to understand why we set on in the first place. Focusing on a single topic across several classes or practice sessions mirror real life interpreting. And where interpreters often work on one subject for extended periods. Sticking to one topic helps you become more familiar with its content and also your vocabulary. And it's making interpretations easier and more accurate. It also allows you to focus more on technique instead of struggling with unfamiliar terms. Random topics are good for exam but not ideal for regular practice. Preparations takes time. So it's more efficient to use the same topic over multiple sessions. That way, your preparation is deeper and more worthwhile. When preparing the topic, you can start with a general overview of the topic in your native language before diving into terminology. And guys, be careful when researching online because online you guys can find too much information and it can be overwhelming. So just focus on finding what's truly relevant. Next. It will be Zelda's time.
Okay, and the next is preparation strategies. A good starting point for understanding almost any topic is Wikipedia. When you are assigned a topic for class or practice or a mock conference, explore the relevant Wikipedia pages along with related topics. Other educational platforms like howitworks.com or Khan Academy, which offer clear, often multimedia explanations. Many similar resources exist in other languages too. Don't rely on just one source or one type of media. Additionally, look into whether the topic has any connection to the countries where your working languages are spoken. Read authentic speeches by native speakers on the topic to get familiar with the language style and common arguments. Lastly, check whether the topic is currently in the news. Use multiple sources. This builds a more complete understanding and support memory through repetition. Explore multimedia content. Videos and interactive content help explain complex topics more clearly than text alone. Study various perspectives. Knowing the debate from both sides improves your critical thinking and helps you interpret more naturally. Look for real-world reference. Checking news updates and reading authentic speeches brings the topic into a practical, real-life context. Language awareness. Reading in your working languages improves register, vocabulary, and style recognition. crucial for professional interpreting. And this one is vocabulary list and glossaries. Collect key terms before interpreting. The second is use subject-specific glossaries. And the last is review regularly. Vocabulary preparation is one of the most important steps for interpreters. Before interpreting, we need to collect a list of key terms, especially those that are specialist or technical. For example, if the topic is medicine, we must know medical terms, drug names, and procedures. If the topic is politics, we should prepare terms related to law, democracy, or governance. Creating subject until specific glossaries helps us remember not just single words, but also how they are used in context. This glossary becomes like a personal dictionary that we can use again in the future for similar topics. However, it is not enough. Just make the list. We also need to review it regularly so that the terms stay fresh in our memory and can be related intently during interpreting. This one is activation. The first is not just memorizing words. The second is practice speaking and using terms. And the last is role play or short practice speeches. Activation is about making sure that the word and terms we prepare are not only in our passive memory but also in our active memory. In other words, we don't want to just memorize word on paper. We want to be able to use them quickly and naturally while speaking. To active vocabulary, we can practice speaking aloud. Create short sentence with the new terms or role-play activities. Another useful method is giving short practice speeches that include the vocabulary we just learned. By doing this, we train our brain to access the word immediately without hesitation. This step is very brain to access the word immediately without hesitation. This step is very important because during real interpreting, we don't have time to think too long. Activation ensures that the vocabulary is ready to use, just like a tool we can pick up and use instantly. And next, Mas Faiz, silakan.
Okay, brainstorming. Warm up activity before practice. Generate ideas on the topic. Organize thoughts, mind maps, notes. Brainstorming is a warm-up activity before actual interpreting practice. The purpose is to activate background knowledge, vocabulary, and ideas related to the topic we will interpret. For example, if the topic is climate change, we can brainstorm words like greenhouse gases, renewable energy, carbon footprint, and sustainability. This quick exercise prepares our brain for what might come in the speech. Brainstorming can be done individually or in small groups, and it can take the form of listing words, making mind maps, or jotting down short notes. By organizing ideas visually, such as with diagrams or categories. We create mental connections that help us understand and interpret more smoothly. In short, brainstorming is like stretching before exercise. It makes the interpreting processes easier and more confident. Next. Exam preparation. Before your exam, there are a few key things you can do to prepare. The consecutive interpreting exam format is generally consistent across institutions. You'll be told the general topic of the speech and given 5 until 10 minutes to prepare. Topics are usually general and non-technical and should be familiar from your studies. Just before the speech, the speaker will repeat the topic and state their point of view. The speech will be 5 until 7 minutes long, self-contained, and not part of a larger conversation. You must interpret immediately after the speech ends. You're typically allowed to ask one or two clarification questions if needed. Next. Before the exam, do a short warm-up. Interpret one short speech 5 minutes before the exam to wake up and get focused. Don't overdo it. Avoid long practice sessions that could tire you out. Use your 10-minute prep time wisely. Focus on recalling key issues, arguments, and expressions related to the topic. Don't waste time on obscure terminology. Prep alone or with one other person at most to avoid distraction. Bring essential. Have 3 pens and 2 notepads with you. Dress appropriately. Look professional, but choose something comfortable. Avoid anything restrictive. In the exam itself. First, start straight away once the speaker has finished. 2. Take a deep breath just before you start speaking. Make sure you start the consecutive in the right language. Many candidates, usually those who work into a foreign language, will start off in the wrong language. 4. Make sure you are clearly audible to all. 5. Look at the examiner's eye contact is crucial. 6. Keep an even pace throughout. 7. Get a move on, don't bore the jury. Aim to make your consecutive shorter than the original. 8. Avoid any unnecessary repressing and or repetition. 9. Be business-like and professional. 10. Register. 11. If at the end you ask a question, make sure you understand the answer and ignore it or forget it. Like that, to note down the ending if you can. The of a speech will often contain some important message that the speech has been working towards. 13. When you say your bit, get up and leave. Next. Practice is essential. To improve as consecutive interpreter, you need to interpret, often get feedback and apply it. Frequent focus practice with others is critical. Next. Next slide, please.
Udah.
Practice in groups. Work with 2 until 5 student interpreters, ideally 3 until 4, to ensure everyone gets a turn. Use a real listener, someone who doesn't know the source language to access clarity and delivery. Practice multiple times per week, but take at least one day off. Set a specific goal for each session. Example, focusing on delivery. Stick to one topic per session, preferably align it with your class topic. Prepare thoroughly both your speeches and topic area. Start with a 5 until 10 minute brainstorming session. Each speaker should give a brief introduction before their speech to help interpreters anticipate content. Avoid distractions, phones, laptop. Don't look up terminology mid-session. Instead, note question and research later. Next, please. Timing. Keep sessions between 16 until 120 minutes to maintain focus. Example structure. 10-minute brainstorming, 5 minutes speech, 5 minutes interpreting, 10 minutes feedback. This work well for 4 until 5 students. Next, please. Feedback should help the interpreter improve, not just evaluate. Listening and giving feedback also help the giver grow as an interpreter. Focus feedback on constructive suggestions for improvement rather than criticism. Next, please. Thank you. If you understood everything, congrats, you're officially smarter than me.
Okay, right now that we have heard the presentation, let's move to the Q&A sessions. If anyone has a question, please raise your hand.
Me.
Okay, yeah, Amel.
Tadi Selsa dulu, Sob.
Oh, Selsa, oke boleh.
Okay, my question is, in your opinion, how does cultural knowledge influence the accuracy and neutrality of interpretation?
Maaf,
Sorry,
boleh diulang.
Selsa, could you please send me the question?
Okay, I will send.
Maybe in the comment di situ tuh di obrolan. Okay, next the from Amel.
Okay, so the question is, in your guys' opinion, which part of the preparation process is the most challenging and why? Give me a reason. Thank you.
Amel, ini Mel di komen aja Mel.
Okay, dan
Last question, because this presentation will in 3 questions.
Me.
Okay, Amal.
Bentar. Uh, how can interpreters know if their practice sessions are effective and leading to real progress? Aku ketik di obrolan ya.
Iya, Mal.
Okay, I will answer the question from Selsa. Cultural knowledge helps interpreters understand meaning more accurately because language is tied to culture. Without it, important details or emotion can be lost. However, too much cultural influence can affect neutrality, as interpreters might uncons- 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 unconsequently add their own cultural bias. Therefore, interpreters need cultural understanding for accuracy, but must stay aware to remain neutral. That's the answer.
Okay, thank you, Mas Faiz. That's enough. Maybe me. Next, I want to answer Amel question. The question is which part of the preparations process is the most challenging and why? In my opinion, the most challenging part of the preparations process for me is understanding the topic and the subject of the event. Why? Because we should deeply know what's the subject and before we interpret something. And this is difficult because the interpreters must quickly learn specialize the subject of the event. Is it enough?
Um, okay, then how to solve that, Nashwa?
As in my PPT, and you should like preparing for the subject before you interpret something, and you should search and research about the subject you would interpret, and maybe you can take time before you interpret something, the subject of the matter of the event, like that. Is it enough?
Okay, thank you.
My pleasure.
I will answer questions from Amal. How can interpreters know if their practice sessions are effective and leading to real progress? The answer: interpreters can know their practice sessions are effective if they see improvement in fluency, accuracy, and confidence during interpreting. Getting constructive feedback from peers or instructor is also important. It helps them identify mistakes and measure progress. Regular and focused practice with clear goals like improving delivery or terminology use shows real development over time. Is it enough, Amal?
Enough, Sel.
Okay, thank you.
Uh, okay. Thank you for all the questions, and thank you to the presenters for the answer. All right, everyone, we have reached the end of our presentation. Thank you to all the presenters for the great explanation, and to everyone here for your attention and participation. We hope our presentation has been informative and useful for you. I'm Sophie, your moderator, and I apologize for any mistake during this session. Thank you and have a great day.